Hello everybody, welcome back. This is Space Engineers No Jetpack Survival. It's episode 92. I'm PsyPrime, and yes, you already know what we're going to do because you've watched this before, haven't you? Of course you have. For those of you who haven't, we're going to continue working on this large ship. Kind of tease the areas we're going to be looking at on the intro, and yeah, we've got some corrections to make to some of the assumptions I made on the last part of the build. We were hoping certain things would work the way we wanted them, but you know, things don't always work out that way. So we're going to make some corrections, and then we're going to continue out with the hangar bay. So that's this episode. Let's roll the intro, the other one. Okay, so first things first, we've got a couple of things to address with this whole thing here. First one, as quite rightly pointed out, and it's something I noticed while I was doing the editing last time, this block would likely weld itself to this half block here and become inseparable once that connects and locks into there. We don't even need a dry run to prove that. The solution, at least from my point of view, the solution is to remove that block and replace it with something it can't connect to, which would be one of them. So a sloped block, a sloped half block like that, facing that way. So it still fills in the space a little bit, kind of looks right from every other angle, but this can't sort of connect in, and we've got to do the same on the other side. Because, you know, obviously, when you merge two grids together using a merge block, it doesn't just merge out the merge block, it merges the whole two grids together at any point where it can physically become one. And I've just realised that for some reason my colour's changed again. There we go. We've got autosave on, so with a bit of luck, any crashes we get shouldn't be too devastating. Right, so those will work now, I'm sure of that. They will connect. Obviously we've got that little bit of separation there because this landing gear is not all the way to the ground. Got a little bit of space there, so if we were to actually unlock that landing gear, they would come down in range of that, but I don't want to do that just yet because there's another problem. Now the whole aim was, once these connect up, was we wanted to try and disconnect this piston from the assembly so that we don't end up with sort of phantom forces happening from the piston trying to fight a static grid. Well, it's not static, it'll be a movable ship, but all of this will be part of the main grid, which the piston is attached to, and it'll be sort of like a loop of forces, and I want to be able to detach that from there. Okay, so from the right angle here, I mean, if I had reached to there, I could use build vision to detach that piston head from the piston. I wonder if we can do that from a control panel. You see, I'm being told that we might not be able to automate that sort of function, so let's have a look at a piston. Did we actually? Yeah, we did. Big ship for an LG piston, that's the one. So yeah, there's no actual detach option. There's a safety detach, which would detach if the piston head gets 5 meters away from the body due to some sort of weird disconnect, but it won't actually, it won't do the thing. And you can add a piston head once one's been detached automatically, but then that doesn't really connect it back to here. So the problem being that while we can attach and detach using build vision, can I get close enough? No, never mind. It's not going to help us when it comes to automating the system because it's not a control on the actual piston. It's not something that's accessible to the game script either. So we can't even code it. So what I am going to do, after all that waffle, I'm going to detach this from there. We're going to re-add the piston head, retract the piston slightly. That will drop these off onto here, so we might actually have to let these lock. Then we're going to add a one of these merge block into there. I don't think we can. Yeah, I don't think we can replace this block with it because that'll detach all of this. So we'll place it on. We'll have to place it on top, I think. Maybe we can put something in there just to sort of keep this attached to that. We'll figure that out shortly. Right, so first things first, I do need to get high enough to detach that. The control is all from the top, so I'm just going to place that on there. Right, so the head, detach. Okay, that went a bit strange. We're going to reverse this now. I'm just going to leave the head behind. Okay, I'm going to put a new head on it. There we are. So we've got a new piston head. I have to take that head off. So there we go. No, that's not going to work. We have to come down and back up. Right. Can't quite reach. Go around the other side and place a half block on. Oh, that's a save, I think. This is why we originally disabled the autosave. Just because you get those sort of freezes. Right, so that's back to where that should be. Right, now ideally I do want to place thingy-bob in there. How do we connect this? That's interesting, actually. Oh, that's held itself as it is because the mag plate. That's fine then. That's all right. How do we attach? Well, I think what we have to do is get rid of that temporarily. Then we can, just for the moment, it doesn't really have to be pretty for the minute, but we get a couple of half blocks on here. One there. One there. One there.
Inbound.
It's coming from that direction. Right, so I've attached now that to that and this, so I should be able to just pull that out. Everything's fine. Right, and I should be able to place a merge block, which I don't have the materials for right now, straight into there. You see, a merge block would do exactly what we were going to do before, but in a way that we can actually control. So, yeah, I was right, we don't have the materials for that, but now I can get rid of that, that, and that, and place our... Oh, actually, maybe we get rid of that and put something a bit more attractive on there. That. Yeah, kind of like that. Right, so I've got the materials for that on my bar. I need another one as well. So we're going to have to place a merge block on the end of that piston. Where did I put it? There we are. Hopefully, this doesn't take up so much space that we can't actually retract the landing gear properly. Otherwise, we might have to remeasure some stuff. Right, so I've got to come all the way up. Let's make sure I'm... Turn my lights off, it's daytime. Okay, that's all the materials I need for these two. That's 2 blocks worth of height, which is enough to retract Well, we need 3 blocks. So there's another block there. Yeah, it should be fine. I think we might have to just fully retract the piston. So we might have to change the minimum height. Okay, that's good. Gotta come back down again to go back up. Right, so this is how this works then. Good. Yeah, that should be fine. Now, obviously, we can't rely on the piston to go the same length as we did before. We're going to have to take 2.5 meters off its max length. So, I think if I can get up there to actually control this thing. Right, so we're going to take 2.5 meters off its max and minimum, actually. So, minimum, well, that goes down to 0. Maximum is 10, so 7.5. 7.5. Okay. Hopefully, now if I extend that, getting a lot of stutter right now. What's going on? We're getting attacked. Or is the game going to crash? Better save it. Oh, it's already saving. That's what's going on. This damn save game thing. Right. So we're going to reverse that. And it should bolt itself into there. Oh. Just save already. There, locked. Good. Has it finished saving now? I'm assuming it has. Okay, so that's now in a position where it's done what it needs to do. That I need to check its length now, make sure its length is correct. It'll be a little off, I think. 6.99 meters. 7 meters might have been about right. Okay, let's see how far we can push it by unlocking this. There we go. Bit locked. That's about as low as it could possibly go. So that's dead level where it should be when it's extended fully. So let's see where that's locked at. 7.34. I'm quite happy to make that the maximum. 7.3. 4. Okay. Right. So 7.34 is the maximum. That accounts for the little bit of extra in the piston head and everything. So, and these two. Good. Now, because of the shape of what I've done around this, this is still detachable from the rest of that. It's not become a permanent part in any way at all. But what I am going to do, I'm going to have to name it. So, big ship, FG, piston, merge. And the one below it, we have to access from here. Merge. There should be one that's... Oh, there's a few here. Oh, I haven't named them. You have to do some namings. Right. And that is named. So what's that one over there then? Okay, so that one is connected via the subgrid. It should be on the same grid as that one that I've just named. So it'll be the same colour. So it'll be that one. So that'll be big ship, front gear, foot merge, merge. That's it. Good, right. So now we've got those named. We've got these named. We've got these named. These are off at the moment, so they're not going to merge in. But now we've got everything that will actually work. When I come around to actually doing the timings for it, there should be nothing that gets in the way. So it'll be literally a case of, and the sequence of events would be, when it's time to extend the landing gear. So when you're coming down for a landing and you want to pre-extend your landing gear, what we do is we just literally extend the piston down to its maximum length, and then when these come into contact, these get merged in, so they get locked together. We'll let that automatically do that. I've only got it turned off right now because I don't want to accidentally lock them together. So these get locked together. Boop, done. As soon as they lock, what we'll do is we'll tell this one to unlock and retract this piston. So we'll reverse the piston, and this gear will stay put, and this piston will be out the way. When it comes to retracting the gear, when you've taken off, so obviously mag plate's unlocked, we've got off the ground, piston comes down, reconnects to this. At the same time that this reconnects to this, these will unlock, and then the piston will reverse. Really that simple. But we'll do all of that timing stuff at a later time, because I've got a whole front section here to do. Now these, oh, I was getting loads of stutter again. How often is it saving? Should be like every 5 minutes, I think. Right, these, this was a cool idea, but it's going to leave a big hollow space, and I don't like it. So what we're actually going to do is we are going to set them in the ground. So I need to work out where we're going to wall off here. So round, well, we can't wall here because then it'll attach this to the wall. So that's out of the question. So I think it will literally be, we should actually put some wall blocks in. There should be interiors as well, because we don't need to use really heavy big blocks for this. What other options have we got? Let's see. Oh, some nice corners and stuff. Could make use of some of them. Well, the walls will be on a higher level actually, so these would actually be steel plate. So I think we just come across this way. Initially, well, we're on this level here, but the hangar bay is going to be one level higher. So we're going to need stairs at some point to go up. So I'll leave a space for some steps. Where was that from? Piston, 1, 2, 3, stairs. Right. Piston, 1, 2, 3, stairs. Right. So that's where the wall will be separating these two areas. I'm going to need loads of steel plate. Okay. Am I crouching? It feels like I'm crouching, but I'm not. Right. So we're going to use interior plate for areas that are properly interior in the ship, but areas like this where it's kind of like extended hull almost, we're not going to go down that route. Right, so you come here up some stairs, which will be those kinds of stairs, not the crappy ones. So let's put some proper stairs in. I need interiors for these. Let's get enough for lots of stairs. Okay, I don't know how many stairs I pulled. 1. That's one lot. Right, okay, so you come in through there, which means actually, at least these blocks here. Need to be these for sure. Starting with the logical bits, you know, the bits that actually make sense because they kind of have to be the way they are. And then from there, we've got the flexibility to work out how things are going to be after that. So, right, they come in here. So at this level, we're at normal ground level here, but obviously there's going to be a wall a bit higher up across here. So you come in, the wall comes up across here a bit. This area is usable, and access for ships is in through the top. So we could start the welder system kind of around here. Which makes it nice and easier to bring in a cargo line. Our nearest cargo spot is, well, there's two places I can work with. So we've got that line there, and we've got this line here. Now if I come out from under there, across this way, and then branch off in both directions, around like this, and under the stairs, then one, it acts like a sort of path guide almost. Our main corridor is going to go around the outside there. Ooh, I think actually, sorry, little revelation, can't do it that way. Because that, it just sort of mess around with our corridors. We kind of don't want the corridor going around an extra curve just for the sake of it. Same on this side. Six, put it there. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. How have I got less than before? Oh, that's weird. Maybe we use one extra block. Okay. Good, right, so that's now the space. It's going to be weldery stuff. But before that, again, we need to make sure that we bring some cargo line in. Now, we also have a cargo line somewhere over, way over there. It's too far away, though. So I think what we're going to do, there's nothing attached to the bottom of there.
Inventory full.
Luckily we double skinned some of this. Right, so under there is cargo hatch territory. No, that's not done any harm, so that's good. So I need to go, where's our conveyors? 3. Okay. This doesn't have to be an every way conveyor, so it can just be a reinforced C shape. That's the one. And that's the right way up. Right. Good. And then we do a straight shape from there. So back to 9-3. Straight line. Right, let's make sure we got it the right way. Well, I'd rather have the thick side on the top. No, I'd rather have that side. If I can. Do we do that? That looks better. Okay. We'll just do that. Very strange. Okay. And what we're basically going to do is we're going to bring this out here and along the path we would follow to get into that room on each side. So it will be visible in places, but those sort of gives us a clue underneath of where we need to sort of double skin the bottom of the hull. Just to give it some more protections. One of these might have to go if we're going to put the circular doors in. I think we don't put a circular door in. I think we do a normal into the circular corridors, but use a big door. Because the circular door takes up 2 spaces, and you can't really sideways it because of the way it's shaped. That, you know, these are kind of all important blocks at the moment. We could potentially find another place for them, but I sort of want control blocks to be not a million miles away from the thing that they're controlling. Because if you're here trying to diagnose a problem, you don't want to run halfway across the ship to the computer room to be able to fix it, when you can just do it here. So that's the logic I'm going by anyway. So right, so I got a couple more to go out here. So on this side we're going to end up cutting across where we've got this little thing here, so we're probably going to have to not quite do that. Oh, actually that's interesting as well. This shape isn't exactly compatible, so we're going to have to scoot across the bottom of here and go through this bit. So we're not going to come out quite as far as we thought we might. We'll go out one more and go... Can we go under? No, we can't go under that. We'll go next to it. Because these blocks here are full light armor blocks, but these ones are not that shape, so it wouldn't work. Unless we suddenly change to pipes, which would look cool, but get shot out in no time. You know, constantly just tweaking our plan as we go, really. How did we not get seriously hurt with that? I'm not invincible. You can see that's part of the ship already, so it's fine to touch that, but we don't want to touch this with anything. Right, so we're going to come across like that. I can do the same on the other side, I think. Yeah, it's not going to cut that whole section of the ship off. 3, 4, 5. I mean, there will be a line going across the top as well, but for access to the welders at the bottom, we need one as easily put through the floor as possible, really, because coming over the top and then back down to the welders is a bit of a vulnerable method. Yeah, do it. Come on. I'll try and be as close to an hour as I can today. I've been going over quite a lot recently. And from my experience, people seem to prefer about an hour. Right. Okay, that's good. So now just temporarily lose these 2 blocks. And that one. Yeah, another straight one. Yep. Okay, and then we're in from there. So it's a good start. Okay. Yeah. Right, so that gets us most of the way in. Good. Yep. Right, so that's that. But then we need one more to get to there. But it should actually be a more versatile conveyor junction. So I think it should be a full junction. Okay, energy's low. I'm going to put like an energy thing on the wall here somewhere, because once you disembark your ship, like your shuttle or whatever, you might be in a position where you need a little energy or something. Although you'll have been sat in a seat for the whole time, but you might be short on something. Another save in progress. Right, okay. So that brings us out to there where this is. I believe we can put that block back, but then I might stop myself from coming in and out for a bit, so I don't want to. I'll put those back in later. So what we're going to do here from this point, I think this is a good spot. We're going to start sinking in some welders. Do we go every other? Well, even if we go every other, we're going to need to take out the whole row. Yeah, we're not going to cut anything off. Kind of want to create a nice large... dropping stuff everywhere. A nice large area where our ships can repair on without having to worry too much about are we gonna land correctly on it or whatever. So, and I was going to put these on top, but they work better like this. Yes, there. Okay, so if I put them every other, that works out perfectly. But then I'm just going to have to fill in the middles with some blocks. If I do T blocks, then the next row in can connect off these. Yeah, that works. Kind of want the visible side on top for these bits. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces to weld. Couple of computers missing. And a steel tube. No, not even. There's not even enough on its own there. What the heck? What am I pulling in? What am I filling my... What's all this if I don't need it? Weird. I need some more steel plate as well because we need to continue after that line. Right. It was you. Right, so that's the first row. Second row can just be straight off these. So number 5. These ones get turned around because they need to be like that. Right, there we go. So that's 2 rows. And bear in mind, the floor of the hangar is going to be just above this. We're going to need to put some sort of sensors in there, just so if there's a person in the area, then it's not going to be a problem. But we could always squeeze one of those sensors in one of the gaps here somewhere. We could even put a few sensors in, actually, and make it kind of like a matrix that... You know, the ones that would hurt you turn off as you approach them. Otherwise, they're all on. That way, they can always be kind of working and doing their thing, apart from when somebody's nearby. And then you're not turning all of them off just to let somebody walk past. I don't think that's a bad idea, actually. Okay, so we've got a second row in. Now, that's ended our T's off here. So, next thing I need to do is bring... okay, that's interesting. That ends there. We're gonna have to check this out from underneath in a minute just to see if what we've done. These though, they connect out to this side, so we can put some more sort of junction-y things on there. So I'm just gonna check underneath, make sure I've not done something weird. No, it kind of fits in with the shape all right. We're going to cover all this over with another layer of stuff, so we should be all right. But also potentially could use these as like for auxiliary thrusters and stuff, or weapons even. So we're adding extra ports to the bottom of the front. Because the bottom of this ship has no ports. Not yet. Not so far. Might be room to put something around here. That's where the batteries and stuff are. But I think the majority of the extra ports are going to be further back from here where the engineering stuff is going to be, and out to the sides where we're going to be building like more thruster stuff and weapon areas. This lot needs a good clean up. I think we'll just have to sort of do a bit of litter picking anytime we're down here. Sort of just to attempt to tidy up the area a bit. Is the sun going down already? No, it isn't all. Oh dear, it's going to be dark soon. Hopefully we'll be done by then. Okay. So yeah, I think that's fine. Where was that hole I fell down? There wasn't supposed to be any holes left in here. Well, that's a big hole. Right, so... that was from when we were repairing up there. Right, okay, we can come back to that another time. Right, so yeah, all this is fine. Got auxiliary ports on there. We'll cover over some of it if we need to. Or almost certainly will cover over most of it because it's slightly vulnerable. But it does mean that forward of that point there, we're onto some strange shapes. We're not really going to have room to place any more welders in that spot. Not there, not at this level, in this way. So we're going to continue on like this. Oh, I got a freeze there. Must be saving. So we're going to continue on with another couple of welders there. And then another row of 3. And then that should be enough to sort of cover a basic repair area. Maybe we carry on a bit more, I don't know. So the central strip. But a strip of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide should be more than enough. For a small grid sort of repair. So that should be fine. Right, so let's continue. So only going into full blocks. Well, you get the benefit of like me having done this bit for you. Figuring it all out. Right, so because I want to continue the whole checkerboard thing, even though I don't have to. I could have just done like 3 long strips of welders, but then you're not really maximizing your welder's space. No, control 9. 3, there we go. I want what do I want? C shapes? But then we're screwed. Okay, it's gonna have to be a T shape. T. Yes, like that. And then that one needs to go. Well, that one would go like that, and then this one would probably go like that. Okay, and then our welders, we can't place them on the outside, we can only place them on this in bit. They're on 8, 5. Would be that way around. Taking advantage of all of that space. Right, so that's that bit. But then because these are T's that port out this way, next I can take out that for another welder. This doesn't do that, but that does. So we can put another welder in there. This welder's going to be facing that way. So this bit needs to be different. 9, 3. There's no X-shaped ones, unfortunately, which is very silly. So we're just going to have to put a conventional conveyor thingy on here. Okay, I've got component access already on these. That's good. Good. So that means I can also take that one out. 8, 5. These have to face that way. Duh. Okay. So that's a 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, yeah, 5 by 4 checkerboard of welders. Do we think that's enough? Maybe we go one more row. So these come out this way. So once again, little freezers like that still. Yeah, that's a non-useful block there. Right, so so's that. Right. So we're just going into a row of 2 here to finish it off. So I think the kind of blocks that we need to go with here. 3 again. C's, not that kind, that kind. Yes. That way. 1. Actually, maybe facing the other way up. So that way up. There, yeah. So that the hardened, well, it doesn't work that way, but so it looks like the hardened sides are down. We don't have to worry about whether this bit's airtight because the top panel where we're going to be walking on is going to be airtight. So that covers both of those blocks just nicely actually, and this one can be a T shape just to give it a bit more. 8, 5. Turn it around. No, turn it round. Yep. Yep. Okay. It's kind of almost like a little sort of T-shaped set of welders. That should do nicely. Right, let's start doing some welding up. Obviously these can't weld what's behind them, so it's not going to work. So we're just going to do what we can. Right, this is good. Then I can come through here. Take that. Take that. Now if I do this right, I shouldn't have to wander off to get materials from anywhere else. Okay, 1, 2, take them from there. Good. And this makes sure that like they're all piped up properly, because I wouldn't be able to pull the resources if they weren't. Okay, last 2. And it kind of forms a nice circular sort of 2-way feeds into itself thing, so that we know for a fact that if any one of these sort of bits get taken out, the rest still works. Because Lord knows that will happen. Be sure of that. Right. Did it all in. Yeah, that's good. Right. So I can now place these blocks where I was going to do anyway. Get the other one from the other side. Most of the rest of this can be done from up top. Need materials anyway. Okay. And it's going dark. But we're also really, really close to an hour. Right, it feels cheeky walking up here, but like this is ground level. This is wall. Ground level down there is a different thing. So now, obviously this seems to be coming off the end of a wing, but we were going to actually expand this out anyway, so that's not going to be an issue. At the top of here, right, so around these, we're going to need to create some sort of like a pillar system that can hold some glass on, so it just doesn't look as weak as it actually is. So I need to find some sort of a block that would look good for that purpose. Pill are... Oh, these truss pillars are cool. That's got all of them on. See what we can do with truss pillars. See what we have as options, actually. It's a cylindrical column. It's not quite what I want. Ugh. Truss decoy. Don't want to put decoy there. Lights are cool. Where does the light come out? I guess it's just the top. I think maybe like if we put truss lights on these bits. No. Okay, here we are. Now we're talking proper pillars. Not quite right for that. T's, no. Aha. Yeah, I like that. Okay, we're gonna need materials for a bunch of these. Don't get a lot out of that. But I can just enable the welders to weld these up, so unable to place it. So this doesn't go on that way, okay? But it will go that way. That way or that way? I preferred that way. And mirror it that way. On this one, well actually at some point here we're going to do the same on that side, so that that okay, and on the central blocks I just need to kind of, oh that's cool. It doesn't work, it doesn't look right. Literally just need a nice straight truss piece. That's it. Put it there like that. Yeah. Okay. So that gives us our rather interesting sort of support shape. I think in these bits here we do something a bit more like that. I know they're not supposed to go in these spots, but what the hell. They can all face the same way in this case. Right, so it looks a bit of a higgledy-piggledy mess, I'll admit it. But let's turn all those welders on and see how much of that actually welds itself up. So welder, yeah, big ship battery room welders, not right. All these ones though, this is the same grid, so oh, but then again, I don't know which ones of these are the right ones. I need to know how many I put down so I can count them. Got lights on. 13, 14. So the last 14 I placed down in numerical order are the ones. So welder. So let's count from the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's good. Big ship front hangar welders. Name them all like that. Okay. That way I don't necessarily need to go and weld them all and name them all individually. Right, not yet anyway. Make sure that did all of it. Okay, good. Our lights are on, all our truss pillars are good. Right, let's turn them off. Big ship battery, big ship. Front hangar welders off. Okay. I mean, I suppose we could extend this out much further for larger projects, but nah. And yeah, that does away with the idea of me putting a bunch of sensors in there. Oh well. Never mind. I think maybe we make it a manual thing. I don't know. Detects a ship. Maybe. Don't know. We'll get around to it. We'll figure it out at some point. Right, I need to put some materials back, and we need to get some materials for some large pieces. Now I need to count this up actually. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7 by 5. Girders. Oh, I can't take those ones.
Meteor storm inbound.
Ooh. Another one. Probably coming from that direction. Might be coming from quite low to high though. Guessing most of them just hit the back of that hill or the side of the planet. If that happens. Right. Windows. Do I have any of those on my bar? No, I don't. Windows. So what do we need? We need the largest ones we can get. So we're going to try 2x3s. We're going to put the inverted ones on as well. Oh, actually, the inverted ones are already on there. That's all right. 3x3. Does he have a 3x3 with a thingy? No. Okay, I have to take those as separate options then. Okay, and we need the singles. 1x1s, 1x2s. Maybe 1x2s. Right, so the idea here is to panel this over like that in such a way that looks kind of cool. Let's try with the 3s first. Not that one. Yeah, that one. Yes. Okay. That looks okay. So it leaves one space all the way around. Which will look okay once we've gone 2x1s maybe. 2s onto 3s don't really go. Unless we do a little overlap on the corners. It's not a 3, it's actually a 5. With one space in the middle. So if do that, then a space in the middle for... Oh, actually no. Let's see if this works. Well, let's start by doing these bits here. These are all off, so I can stand here now. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so it's like chasing around, which is great. We've got these little extra spaces to this side here, so we need to just cover these bits. I did not take enough girders. I took 11 of the things or something. 10 or 11, whatever. Okay, good. Let's take another 10. I guess. Freeze. Must be saving. Let me up. Right. Okay. So I guess we place the. Oh, that's already on there. That's fine. We've got a single at the end. I don't like that. Okay. 9. It was that one, wasn't it? Yeah. And then we're going to have to put singles on. Okay, so we need 1x1s in the middle there, which I don't have on my bar yet. So, window. Where's our 1x1 bit? 1x1 flat. Is that the right way up? Yes, it is. And that fits perfectly. Good. We don't have to faff around with trying to weld all that up because we can just go... Okay. Big ship. Front hangar welders. Just wait a moment until it finishes. I might have done all of it already. Oh, we're out of bulletproof glass. No, we're out of bulletproof glass. We're just going to wait until it's welded up in its entirety. Nice. Right, that's done. Okay, let's turn them off again. So, big ship. Front hangar welders off. Good. So now we have our landable, walkable area with what looks like little pillars that hold it all up. It looks overly complicated, but I like that. Overly complicated is fantastic. These lights don't look like they're on. We'll figure that out at some point, or we'll go in and take them out and replace them with sensors, maybe. Maybe, we'll see. Sensors would be cool though, because then we could have each sensor sort of covering an area. Like an area of the 9 blocks around it. Ready to turn off the welders if you stepped on that area. So we could put one there, one there, one there. And as you move between them, you're going to be going into the range of another 9 blocker. So that the welders would turn themselves off as you get close. I think we'll do that next time. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna go down now. I'm actually going to take out. I don't know how we're going to get back over there, but yeah, we'll figure that out in a minute. I'm going to take out these silly light things that don't actually light up. Well, they do light up. You just can't see them through the glass. That's even worse. Okay, that's all of them, I think. So we're going to put some sensors in next time. We're going to rig this up so that it can be always on, apart from when I'm nearby, and it will sort itself out. All this area here is going to get closed off, so you can't go on it. But I'm going to expand this out so it comes out wider a little bit. Not much, but it's going to come out like to there and then bring in. So this isn't going to be the whole shape. And then we can start building up the hangar so we can get sort of like hangar doors on top of it and everything. We can get as much of that done as we possibly can next time. Then we're probably going to... Oh, I need steel plate. Do I have... Oh, I've covered every single available port. I haven't made it easy at all. Missing a piece. Come on, don't freeze now. There we go. Everything's solvable. Right, so yeah. We're going to do all that. Whatever I said. We're also going to try and make these areas safer. Because they're not right now. That's for certain. And yeah. Let's see how we're looking from this angle. Yeah, I don't think that's too bad. I mean, obviously we're going to cover all that over. Yeah, we're going to bring this out. It's just going to flare out a little bit. And a bit further forward, quite a bit further forward, because we need room for other stuff up there. This gear is looking quite good. I don't even mind that. I think we'll panel over it, but I don't mind it too much. We can embellish it with some more details now that we found things like our struts and stuff. Yeah, fantastic. Right, so leave a comment. Let me know what you think so far of our big ship build. It's very early days yet, but you're starting to get an idea for the style and the shape. It does have some familiarity on it because obviously I have a design language when I'm building stuff, so a lot of what I build is going to look like one of my builds, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let me know if you would have done anything differently. Let me know if you're building along, what sort of style are you going for? Are you copying exactly, or are you sort of tweaking it as you go? Be nice to see. Join our Discord as well. I'll drop a link in the description so you can share your pictures of what you're up to with everybody on our Discord. It's a small group right now, but it is growing, and the more of you that join, the more lively it becomes. So yeah, anyway, until next time, have a great week, great weekend, and we'll catch you for the next No Jetpack Survival. Bye for now.